Hey there, just wanted to give you an update on where we are in May 2023. So we've had the product relaunched for over 2.5 years now. And so it's our third season that we've completed. And this season we've sold over 300 units. So we've got a really, really good user database, if you like to call it that. Lots and lots of feedback about how it works, what kind of space it heats, what kind of configuration and layout it works particularly well in, and what kind of effect that you can expect to get from it. You'll see from Trustpilot and from quite a lot of comments now on social media, including YouTube, that it does heat whole houses if you've got the right layout and the right convection flows. And a lot of people, particularly when fuel costs are so high, are using it as their sole heating. It's replacing their entire domestic heating bill, which is absolutely wonderful. It doesn't always work. It'll always heat your room. It'll always produce far more heat. But most people obviously want it to move the heat from the room that the stove is in around the house. And we've now got 3 houses out of more than 400 sales where it hasn't worked. 2 of them grade 1 listed, where actually the heat moves out of the room and then hits a wall of cold air, flows usually upwards into the floors above, which then creates a waterfall effect of cold air on the other side, which then locks the heat into the room. So works completely different. And so that was 2 of the houses, and then one chap's got a house I would have thought would work, and it just didn't work. And he tried putting a great big electric fan to blow the heat out of the room, and that still didn't work. So I don't know why, but convection's a strange thing, because his house was Victorian terrace house, and I would have thought it would have gone, that's almost the best configuration, but for some reason it doesn't work. So we can't guarantee it, and it's really hard to understand when it doesn't, actually, much harder than understanding when it does. But you'll see we have customers with 4-bedroom houses, 3-story 4-bedroom houses, and they're heating the house with their stove with a Recoheat on. So that's absolutely wonderful. We're building on that. We're developing particularly the pump, and expect to have news on that over the next few months, and see how that goes. We're also trying to develop a nozzle to take the turbulent sound out. That may not work. We're testing to see if we can succeed in taking the white noise, the hissy noise out, without losing the heat circulation. That's the crucial thing. And the computer modelling the computer model that we've built allows us to test that, obviously by modelling temperature changes and all that kind of thing. So that's a really good thing, but it still takes a lot of time and is quite expensive in time, effort and resource. But that's ongoing, and we'll make progress, but that may not work. We've got to see how it will go. But the biggest thing actually that's happened recently, as you might have seen, is that we've become trade partner to the Guild of Master Sweeps. And that's wonderful, because sweeps are our biggest partner. Installers are tremendously important, of course, but sweeps are the guys who come back year after year and check that your flue's working, your stove's working, and when your Recoheat is fitted, that's working as well. But the relationship is particularly important because of the publication of the new NVQ, the National Vocational Qualification for Sweeps and Installers, because that publication is the first time that there's been a really clear definition of the distinct roles and responsibilities of installers and sweeps. And why that's so important for us is because it absolutely clarifies that sweeps are allowed to fit our units as part of remedial work and maintenance. The key difference from actually what we were informed is that if you break the flue, we were told you then had to recertificate for building control. And in fact, that is not the case. I'm actually told that's never been the case, but that's what we were informed, and repeatedly. That makes a huge difference. It's a more natural relationship for us actually to be working with sweeps on installation where they want to do that. Many sweeps don't want to do that. They sweep and they'll be working with installers in their area, and they'll get the installers in to do that kind of work. So, both sweeps and installers are tremendously busy, particularly this year where they've been absolutely non-stop, and it's made a huge difference to us. It's probably cost us half our trade this year, the unavailability of the installers, but more the fact that we've been sending people particularly to Hetas, to installers, but most of those are Hetas registered. Hetas is the dominant market, holds a dominant market position. Good for them. They're a delegated authority for installers to issue building control certificates. What they aren't is a product approval body. They have no role in that at all. They run a commercial service to approve products. It's a marketing thing that people have used because they've wanted to, because it's helped their marketing, because it's got them in front of their audience, but it is not and has never been a regulatory responsibility of theirs. And we have found repeatedly that installers have been telling our customers that because we're not Hetas approved, we're not legal, and that fitting our units will invalidate their insurance or invalidate their building control certificate. And that is absolutely, fundamentally not true. For a little organisation to say that has been a conversation people have not particularly been interested in hearing, and is not something they've been particularly interested in saying, because we're tiny, they're big, and we have to work with the industry, and they have such a lot of such a big voice in the industry. But that problem that we've had has become an increasingly large problem within the industry, as essentially they've been empire building and seeking to push out the associations, of the chimney sweeps associations, and give themselves a role with the industry that they simply don't have, or they don't have any legal basis for it. Commercially, that's up to them to make, but the legal basis is a different matter, and this clarification of roles and responsibilities changes that fundamentally, because now everybody can go and read what the responsibility of an installer is and the responsibility of a sweep is, and everybody can go and read who does actually provide the framework for a product to be legal within this industry, and that framework is a CE mark. The CE mark makes really precise requirements for the materials and the process and the external certification of a product that is to be fitted within a flue. So both stoves and flues and flue sections. And our product is CE marked under the requirements for a rigid flue section and a baffle. Those two things, and that has been externally certified by BISRIA, and our product is legal. And somebody can have an opinion and say they don't think it's legal, but if somebody uses their authority delegated to them legally, such as a member of Hetas, and what they're saying is inaccurate to the regulations, that isn't legal, because you've asked for their advice as representative of a legal body, and therefore their advice has to be legal, has to be accurate. And if it's not, that's a problem, and it has been a massive problem for us. But for customers now, it's really clear, really easy for you to say the product is CE marked. It's therefore been externally certified as safe and meeting regulatory requirements. Therefore, any suggestion that it invalidates insurance is completely wrong. And anybody in any position of regulatory authority is not allowed to say that. It's illegal. Whether anybody chases them on that or not is a different matter. But I'm always very happy to gather instances of that being the case, because it makes a difference. But much more interested, rather than trying to push anything by any other means, much more interested in simply stepping around that considerable obstacle in our path and getting on with selling a product which isn't for everybody, but is certainly really interesting to a lot of people in the marketplace, because as our more than 400 case studies show it can make a really big difference to how well your stove works, not in terms of the efficiency with which it burns, but with the efficiency with which it distributes heat around your home. And anybody interested can see that it does make that difference. It makes it in a very wide range of scenarios, and customers are saving their whole heating bill by using it, which is fantastic. Thank you very much, as ever, for your support. Cheers. Bye-bye.